said, wait a minute. Is everybody alright? How can everybody be alright? Think about the people starving in Ethiopia. Think about my brothers
To find ways
in South Africa. The wicked oppressor keep on trying to keep them under. Tell me, Lord, how long do my people have to suffer? No, I'm a warrior, I'm a fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior, and I'm a fighter. Yes, I know I'm gonna have to fight on for my total freedom. Yeah, oh yeah. Don't free my hands and leave my mind in chains. Don't say I'm free and you still washing my brain to do the things that you want me to. I've got a mind of my own. I'm gonna do what I want to do, 'cause I'm a warrior and I'm a fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior and I'm a fighter, and I'm gonna fight on for my total freedom. Yeah. Oh yeah, alright. My song, your song, you like it? Would you come and sing along? Yeah. Oh yeah, alright. No, 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 no. You give me work and make me slave all day. Then you raise your prices high to take away my pay. My eyes are open and yet you think I can't see all the wrong things you have done and are still doing to me. Makes me a warrior and I'm a fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior, I am a freedom fighter. I'm gonna fight on for my total freedom. Oh yeah, alright. Oh no, 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 no. Oh yeah, alright. My song, your song, come on and help me sing along, people. Those lands you own and live in luxury, and you pretend you don't know they belong to me. By fraudulent means you took them away, but you better get ready for the price you have to pay. 'Cause I'm a warrior and I'm a freedom fighter for what I stand for, and that's my total. Said I'm a warrior, I am a freedom fighter. I'm gonna fight on for my total freedom. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Oh yeah, alright. My song, your song, come on and help me sing along, people. Oh yeah, alright. No, 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 no. Wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. Is everybody alright? How can everybody be alright? Think about the people starving in Ethiopia. Think about my brothers struggling for power in South Africa. The wicked oppressor keep on trying to keep them under. Tell me, Lord, how long my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior, and I'm a fighter. Yes, I know I'm gonna. Said I know I'm gonna have to fight on for my total freedom. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. No. Don't free my hands and leave my mind in chains. Don't say I'm free and you still washing my brain to do the things that you want me to. I've got a mind of my own. I'm gonna do what I want to do, 'cause I'm a warrior and I'm a fighter for what I stand for. And that's my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior and I'm a fighter, and I'm gonna fight on for my total freedom. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. My song, your song, you like it. Would you come and sing along? Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. No. You give me work and make me slave all day. Then you raise your prices high to take away my pay. My eyes are open and yet you think I can't see all the wrong things you have done and are still doing to me. Makes me a warrior and I'm a fighter for what I stand for. And that's my total freedom. Said I'm a warrior, I am a freedom fighter. I'm gonna fight on for my total freedom. Oh yeah. All right. Oh no. Oh yeah. All right. My song, your song, come on and help me sing along, people. Those lands you own and live in luxury. And you pretend you don't know they belong to me. By fraudulent means, you took them away. But you better get ready for the price you have to pay. 'Cause I'm a warrior and I'm a freedom fighter for what I stand for. And that's my total. Said I'm a warrior. I am a freedom fighter. I'm gonna fight on for my total freedom. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right. My song, your song, come on and help me sing along, people. Oh yeah. All right. No. Wait a minute. I said, wait a minute. Is everybody all right? How can everybody be all right? Think about the people starving in Ethiopia. Think about my brothers struggling for power in South Africa. The wicked oppressor keep on trying to keep them under.
On to U97.5 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio. Get ready now for douglAR Radio.
Well. Blessed good afternoon to each and everyone. Welcome to douglAR Radio on U975 FM. Of course, I'm your host today, Victor Roberts. We'll sit out the rest of this week for the Honorable Senator Anil Roberts. And of course, I have a guest with me in studio. Very shortly, I will introduce that guest to you. Today, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue our discourse in relation to all national issues that continue to affect this country on a daily basis, it's quite unfortunate that today we have a government in power, a government who have no, and when I said no, I mean no regards for law and order. We have seen from the top to the bottom continue to trample upon the rights of our citizens, trample upon our constitutional rights, breaches in law, looking and creating loopholes in everything to suit their whims and fancy. And as usual, today we will discuss some of those issues. Of course, you have seen on New Year's Day, I went to President House and offer a New Year's Day gift to the President, symbolizing the death of our Constitution, the breaches that continue to occur within the rule of this government. And I was asking, I wonder within my mind sometime, how would the President, how would this individual continue to feel within the precincts of the palace after, according to our local counterparts, regional and even international counterparts, we have seen a blatant disrespect from the office of the President to the office of the Prime Minister to the office of the Chief Justice, come right down the ladder, where there is absolutely no respect for law and order in this society. So I am saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, as we take it up and as we intensify today's proceedings, I want you to bear in mind that we will open the phone line whenever we ready, where you will have the opportunity to call in and to even ask some question to my learned friend who sit with me today in studio, so that you would be able to have a first-hand knowledge as to the way forward while we go forward. Of course, there is a lot of facts to be dealt with this afternoon, and what I will do at this point in time, before I go further, I will allow my friend who is in studio with me here this afternoon to introduce himself. I know some of you would be seeing him at this point in time through the system, but I know for sure some of you anxiously waiting to find out who is this guest and what would this guest bring to the table tonight to help you understand the way forward. So without any further ado, I produce my guest to you as he introduces himself.
A pleasant good night Trinidad and Tobago, to Victor Roberts, the U975 family. The U975 family is a family that I have known for years, especially from the morning radio program. So it's nice to be a change to be here in the evening radio program. My name is Brian Big, attorney at law. I was asked to come on the show. I am no stranger to members of the United National Congress. I have been a member of the party for years, but I am also very much a practicing attorney at law, and I speak on many matters that deals with issues affecting this country. So I'm pleased to be here tonight, and thank you, and I'm glad to meet the ever indomitable, famous
It's nice to meet you too. Am I that famous?
Mr. Corky.
Indeed.
I always hear about you,
All right.
and it's good to be on douglAR Politics.
Okay, it's
My
nice.
first time being on douglAR Politics.
Welcome.
I mean, no wrong to Mr. Roberts,
Yeah.
but when they had the Anil Roberts, I always said one day I would like to be there with Anil Roberts, but I have no problem being with Victor Roberts, as I know he always deals with facts and not fiction.
Yes.
Yes, sir. So let's get into our discussion immediately as we speak. And Brian, today when we look in our dailies, what we are seeing is what appears to be many different conflicts of interest that continue to occur around, or a matter of fact, that surrounds government and government official, friends, and family. Before I go there, I know today, of course, was the hearing in relation to those who was arrested on
Yes, so I understand.
the 30th. And I understand someone sent me a text message saying that the matter has since been deferred to another time. It appears as though that there is some sort of intricacies in relation to really bringing the case forward.
Okay.
But we will leave that as it is for now. I just want the public to know that the matter was postponed to another date, and as soon as more information comes to hand on that matter, we will bring it to you so that you will have a better knowledge.
So
But-
basically, you're saying the matters were adjourned.
Yeah, adjourned.
Well, I thank you for that information. Any reason could have called a matter to adjourn. There could be anything. Unfortunately, I'm not involved in those matters, so I will not make any pronouncement
Right.
on it. All I would say is that it's going to be dragged on again to another date. I mean, that was a day when I saw the members of the Republic, if I may say it like that, speaking and using their rights to the freedom of speech. Whatever reason they were there for, they had their rights to say what they had to say. And I will leave it as that. Like I said, I am not involved in those matters, and I don't want to say anything to prejudice the matter further.
Good. So, as I said, we are now faced with a situation where we have a new dilemma in terms of boats becoming restaurants and party taking place in those restaurants, and police intercept and phone call from X to Y and Z to B, and all form of discrepancies, and who gave who permission and who didn't give who, and who apologized to who, and who tell who, and all that melee that is taking place right now with these situations. One of my first question would be, what are your thoughts on that whole scenario where we now have allegedly the Attorney General implicated in somewhere? We also have allegedly the Minister of Health. We also have and all alleged that the Commissioner of Police and some Deputy Commissioner Christopher and and some sergeant and the DPP and so on and so on. What is your thoughts? I know that this might very well be a matter that may go before the courts at some point in time, hopefully, because we have seen a lot of matters like these still under investigation. I mean, years now and still under investigation. One such matter is the Camille Robinson Regis matter that I know for a fact that was under investigation, and if I should say, may very well still be, because there is no information forthcoming as to what are the status of those investigations. But what are your thoughts in relation to what is happening right now, where we have so much government ministers allegedly involved in what might very well amount to be misbehavior in public office? What's your thoughts, sir?
Well, first of all, I forgot to say, and let me say a pleasant good evening to you, sir, and thank you for having me on your program. Well, seeing this whole, as you say, debacle, it's a comedy of errors, as far as I am concerned. You're seeing a lot of things happening, and it's leaving now to have to ask questions. And it's leaving a lot of questions to be answered. Now, clearly, the Attorney General has been brought into the melee. We must never forget that they are under the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. The Attorney General, via Section 76 of the Constitution, right? He has what is called a constitutional rule. And he is basically, under Section 76(2) of the Constitution, that he is the legal advisor to the government. Hear what I'm saying? Eh? He is the legal advisor to the government. He is the legal advisor to the cabinet of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Right.
Right? He is not the legal advisor to John Public. Right? So it leaves questions to be answered as to why would a gentleman who has just been detained, I say it like that, and you watch a lot of TV cocky.
Yes.
And you know on TV they say, well, you have one phone call.
Yes.
So you want to use the right for your one phone call.
Right.
Now when you get your one phone call, you might want to call your mommy, your daddy,
Yes.
or your wife or husband, or someone close to you.
Yes.
Or you may want to call your lawyer. They say, boss, oh God, I get a hole.
Lock up.
I get locked up. I need you. But now we hear that the Attorney General was called. And then we get to hear again, well, nobody called me. I call back.
Right.
So, is a friend calling a friend? Is a missed call? Is a WhatsApp call? What kind of call? Huh? You have to say it like that, eh? Because it is ridiculous. And then you have press release upon press release upon press release. One press release is from the AG. One press release on the man who get locked up. Well, I never know man who get locked up could do press release. I have clients who get who lock up, you know. I better tell them do press release too. Right? And it's too many contradictions. Well, I didn't call the man, you know. The man called me back. So it's too much. And that is why I have to say today that the government has been embarrassed. That you have your Attorney General name getting called in this melee. Understand the role of your Attorney General, you know. There's not no backbencher, you know. There's not no person who outside, you know. This is not a person who has no ministerial portfolio. This is the Attorney General of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And as far as I'm concerned, when all of this happened, that you had all of this, where persons were arrested for breach of the COVID regulations. That's what they say, huh? Breach of COVID, and I have yet to hear anybody been charged as yet. But if you have 5 fellas or 10 fellas somewhere in a house, and like you say, a little music playing, and a little something sipping, what's the first thing happening? Police bust down. And what they will say on the news? Zessers get whole. Right?
Well, added to that, today I understand that over 60-something individuals were held on another vessel.
Well, I come into that too.
Right.
So you get to hear now, some fellas on a yacht get whole now. So I want to know.
Coast Guard and Army
Right.
officials.
So I want to know, those fellas who get whole, have they been charged as yet? And if they get charged, what keeping the other fellas of that 111 sort persons not being charged yet? And how you just see it in the media? Everybody on the ground, hand on their back. Right? But this, you're not seeing that. And the question I will ask is this, Mr. Victor Roberts. Is it because of the fact that there is alignment to the government? It is being said one of the persons who has been held, the one behind the whole imbroglio, the one who gave him press release, is the son of a cabinet minister. So I don't understand this. And then you have a cabinet minister, family, then you're hearing the Minister of Health getting involved. And all of a sudden, you know what's get me with these fellas? They will hold big press conferences. Don't do this, don't do that. The law is this, the law is that. But the minute somebody is held, I should say rather, is held, and is linked to that of the People's National Movement, or the government that is, all of a sudden, well, I don't know. Well, it wasn't me. All of a sudden, everybody turned to Shaggy. It wasn't me.
But where would that place the Attorney General at this time in relation to a conflict of interest?
Well, it is a major conflict of interest. Because the first thing first, you get a call, hang up. You should have hung up the phone. Should have said, don't call me. But you didn't want to say it. And there is a station diary extract. Now, let me tell you something. Under the law of evidence, in the Evidence Act, a station diary is very important. Yes. I can tell you that. When we go to court, we just ask for station diary extracts. Yes. Because that must have a reason and show what you were held for. Right? You also must understand that if an officer, and you see regimental numbers via the media I saw, regimental number was shown, I think he's a sergeant. So there's not no constable, there's not no SRP, there's not no WPC, there's a sergeant, a ranking officer. A ranking officer, a sergeant is a ranking officer. Because after sergeant, you go up.
Inspector.
Right? You go up. And you're showing where, on the station diary extract, via the media, I have to say it again, via the media, you're seeing where there's a conversation being held with somebody purporting to be the Attorney General. Now, last time I checked, a person cannot come on your phone and say, well, I am the Attorney General. Unless you are. Unless you are a very good impersonator. Right? I can't impersonate you. I can't even sound like you, Victor.
Yeah.
Right? I can't even try to sound like the AG. I wouldn't try.
But added to that, so if there is a major suspicion of conflict of interest at this time, I mean, when we examine the facts via the media, we understand, because a matter of fact, I saw where the media withheld the number that was called. In other words, Corky, if it was the Attorney General number, they didn't publish the number. Right? They kept that off the national record, which I have no problem with. But we are seeing via the media that it is also alleged that the Attorney General spoke with the Acting Commissioner of Police in this same matter. We are also seeing that another Deputy Commissioner of Police was also engaged, allegedly, by the said Attorney General, according to the media release. Now, if this is so, wouldn't it be a matter of public urgency or public importance that the Prime Minister should have already gotten into this matter, getting involved into this matter, even though if it means, because the Prime Minister is one who always boasts that he is privy to information that we are not privy to, based on the fact that he is the head of the National Security Council.
Well, Victor, let me come in here. Now, we must also understand the Attorney General is the Attorney General. Nothing stops an Attorney General from even having a conversation with even the Commissioner of Police. You could call the Commissioner of Police on basically anything. But it stops him when it comes to dealing of matters that can be deemed as a conflict of interest, right? To way in which his office is now becoming tarnished. Now, let me understand, this is the first time this Attorney General has gotten himself in these kind of problems. Now, the Commissioner of Police has yet to come out to say anything. We have not heard the Deputy Commissioner of Police said anything on this. But what is frightening here is that the lengths of what we are hearing via media reports are the lengths at which is gone at to try and, how to say it, in local parlance, with a guy fell off now, right? But again, what about the 10 Zessers who they said they were just having a family affair? But you hold them. So where was the call to the Commissioner of Police? Where was the call to the Deputy Commissioner of Police? But again, is it because of the fact that it was the son of a senior cabinet minister? These are questions that must be asked. And these are questions that must be answered. It have to answer these questions. Now, I mean, I read a press release by...
Who's going to answer it?
I read a press release by Mr. Schoon. Now, if I were Mr. Schoon lawyer, and I tell him, hey, shut the hell up now. Right? You need to shut up.
Yes.
Right? Because your press releases, 1 minute you've said X. The next minute you've said Y. Then the next minute you've said Z.
And then you apologize.
Bro, with all due respect, oh God, shut up now. You need to shut up. Right? We have not even heard a charge yet in this matter, you know. So the 100 people, where's a charge? They're not even a one-person charge yet. You even hear a man get charged. And let me tell you something here. There's a 48 hours to charge people there, boss. Unless it is a matter of serious urgency, where an officer of the rank of sergeant up can keep that person. Okay. So it is ridiculous. I saw a video of that same party boat. And there's no dispute. It's a party boat. Right. INC brunch. Now, let me be real. Brunch, INC a chicken leg, INC a waffle, INC a pancake, INC a scrambled eggs. Because they say it's a breakfast into lunch restaurant boat. So INC that. So where that food was? On the roof of the boat?
Somewhere.
Where was it?
A secret location.
Right?
In the engine room.
Right? But you're seeing everybody chipping.
Okay. Did they have masks on?
I saw some persons not wearing masks. And there's a video of it all over social media.
Yeah.
But it was a restaurant. And it was a safe zone. So, let me show you something. So I could attend it. I'm vaccinated, you know. So I could go this then.
Okay.
I could go with my vaccination card. Because if it is a restaurant, I carried my wife.
Yeah.
So we could have some lunch.
Right.
If it is a restaurant. And we are seeing at levels of where people are going. I saw the Minister of Finance jumping the brouhaha, as they call it. Yeah. And he's saying, well, I never agreed to no license. And then all of a sudden, well, yes, I agreed to your license. Come on. It's either somebody lying or somebody can't remember. And for my part, it can't be somebody can't remember. Right? Somebody has to be lying. And we have to call it out as it is. that it is time to say enough is enough.
Right.
The Attorney General has been trying to skirt this in so many ways, and I am sorry, and you're quite correct. The Prime Minister is very quiet. The Prime Minister, when he was sworn in, the man said the buck stops with me. So the Prime Minister needs to speak on this. You have a senior cabinet minister whose son is involved, apparently,
Yes.
alleged son, right? Because you have ministers saying they're not my children, you know. Remember we had some people who had some kids holding guns.
Mm-hmm.
And we had where, oh, that was the age you do? Oh, okay. And saying, but I not my children. Right? Now you're coming now and saying, well, I don't know. These are things that we have to look at. It is very damning and it is frightening as well.
Well, I would expect that the Prime Minister will do just what he is doing,
All right.
remaining silent. You see, let me tell you something that we had to understand in this country. In this country, to deal with some of those matters, you have to have what you call integrity. And I am saying that as far as I am concerned, the Prime Minister have no integrity to speak on those matters, and I'll tell you why. I remember that there was a serious investigation into a major oil scandal in Petrochin, which involves the Prime Minister friend, as he said, and his financier to the PNM. And while that investigation was going on, the Prime Minister was out of the country. And the Prime Minister do worse than the Attorney General. The Prime Minister took a phone and called Bash and had discussions on the said matter, by his admittance, on the said matter, while a very serious investigation was taking place, an investigation which caused the collapse and the closure of Petrochin. So when the Prime Minister have demonstrated that type of behavior as the head of the cabinet, what do you expect the Attorney General to do? It is a clear case of following the leader. Because if the leader could interfere in these sensitive matters while it was under investigation, then Faris Alawi is right to interfere according to what the papers print. Because you see, it seems as though that the whole bunch of cabinet officials, that there is no form of integrity amongst them. And this is why we find ourselves in this situation. The Prime Minister have ample reason to reel in Faris Alawi. Ample.
You see, Victor, it comes again to asking questions. It comes again to asking, did the AG receive a phone call? Yes or no? Did someone return a phone call? Yes or no? Was there in fact station diary extracts that can be looked at, that can be requested? Now, I tell you already, I wish I was a lawyer in this matter. I don't ask for that one time as disclosure. I want to see all that. Right? Now, I mean, to all credit to the officer. The officer was doing his job. The officer doing the work. Right? Party boat. Sorry, restaurant. Boat. All right, the boat. We call it the boat. This boat. Right? That had more than 100 persons. Police intervened because there's something called the public health regulations. And the public health regulations state you can't have anybody more than 10 persons in a public gathering. So the officers will come, board the boat. Say, all right, everybody outside. Everybody outside on the ground. Who is the man running this thing here? And we say, Cocky is you.
Right.
Yeah, you the man running this thing here? I come.
Yes, yes.
You sit down there. What's your name? Cocky. Right.
D. Yeah.
Put the inside the van. Who's the next man there? Victor Roberts?
Yeah.
Use Victor Roberts. Use the man with this boat. Yeah, boss. All right. You inside too. I'm taking everybody down too.
Right.
So I want to know, did this station also hold 100? I have been to the Carnage station already. And I must admit, it's a nice police station. Eh?
Yes.
Not to get holy, but it's a nice police station. So I want to know, did all those 100 persons
Yes.
was held in those cells? Because you only hearing about this one band. You only hear about Corky.
Yes.
You only hear one man name getting called right through.
I hear my name call.
Right? But what about these other persons who were arrested? Were any charges put on these persons? Are these persons still held in those cells? Or were anybody released?
Everybody was released according to a newspaper report.
All right.
All right.
Nobody was charged. Everybody were released.
So then anybody could keep parties then?
Whether it is one law for you and another
Oh.
law for the PNM. That is
Okay.
the reality.
So are you then telling me, Mr. Victor Roberts, that let me say I go on this boat
Right.
and I say, Mr. Corky, I want to have a brunch,
Right.
but I bring in family.
No problem.
I bring the whole big clan and
Right.
100 away. So then am I in the same breach as well? Will I be allowed to be released as those other persons were? And what led to the release of those persons? And if they were released, why were they released? And if it's so, then why hasn't they bring an action of on wrongful arrest and suing the state? Why that hasn't been done?
So is it that why they got Mr. Gary Griffith out of the show?
Brother, let
That
me,
I can't.
let me just back up a little bit. And I am very much concerned about the safety of that sergeant. Very much concerned.
All right.
And I will share why. There was a front page article
Yes.
in relation to children allegedly being the train of Faris Alwari,
Hey,
the
hold
Attorney
on,
General.
stop there. Let me stop you. The gentleman in question
Yes.
said that is not his children,
All right.
right? He never claim it. Never claim them.
Okay.
So we can't say that. We can't say that. However, I like your point. And you're on a right point. But here we go again. Is that so all these persons were released. But why then? So Mr. Schoon, so he's still held? Is he still?
No,
So he,
everybody was released.
so he get released too.
Everybody.
Okay.
So he get released too.
But listen to this. Listen to this. Since you gentlemen didn't claim them, listen to this.
right.
The officer, whose name is Officer Samaru,
Right.
from the Defense Force, who was the person allegedly responsible for bringing those information with whoever churned it was on the front page with those machine guns. You know what I'm saying, Corky? Let me tell you what happened to Officer Samaru. After that information came to the public domain, a matter of days after, Officer Samaru was found in Camp Komoto with a gunshot wound to his head, dead.
You serious?
Listen what I'm saying to you. Officer Samaru was found with a gunshot wound to his head, dead. There was a certain individual who went and conduct an investigation into the death of Officer Samaru. That individual concluded that it was suicide. Upon further investigation and another autopsy by Samaru's family,
Yes.
it was found that Samaru had several broken ribs from blunt object trauma, several broken ribs, and the gunshot to his back of his head. The coroner suggested that it could not have been suicide what caused Samaru death. I'm showing you how dangerous the playing field is. I'm showing you how very dangerous the playing field is, my brother.
Well, I mean, it is frightening in what is happening.
The
Or what-
players are
and
armed.
we have to also understand that if persons have been released,
Yeah.
okay. But again, it does not negate the fact that phone calls were made. It does not negate the fact that persons had conversations with persons, where persons were saying and they're giving their opinion, right, that no one has breached any rules, right? But, again, that is not the role of a senior cabinet minister who holds the title of AG. That's not your role.
But brother, I am saying that we have had one experience too many in relation to the Attorney General acting outside his role. We have another scenario where, and I will just touch on the outside of it, where QC Nelson, a document was prepared and signed.
Well, let me stop
Right?
you there. That matter is currently before the courts, and I would suggest, because it's before the courts, I'd suggest leave it there, because
Free.
you don't want to do something that could prejudice a matter. As we are, this matter currently that's here, we are basically just asking questions as to why was a phone call made, why it was made to that individual, right? And if it was made, own up and say yes or no. And if it is yes, well then why? And if it's no, well okay, right? And then you have to understand, it reached to the point where a police officer had to speak to that individual, right? Because I'll say it again, if Corky, I don't mean to use as an example, you're the closest person to me,
Yes.
are incarcerated, has been held, has been detained,
Right.
and you get a one phone call. Corky, who you calling?
Well, boy, I had to call somebody who could try to get me out of there.
Right. So,
And if we
so
don't call
clearly,
somebody-
it's because there's
And if-
some form
yeah.
of affiliation.
And if my father is an officer, I'm going to call him first. Or something like that.
And I will tell you, your father could tell you, well, boy,
Yeah.
stand your ground. Right? But
Yeah.
this gentleman, I can tell you, I have family with police.
Okay.
And before I became an attorney at law, and they say, boy, if you get hold, don't call me, you know. And if you
Right.
call me, I will tell you, have a good night and enjoy a cool prison, cool cell.
But
But
that's just
because-
basically to keep you on the good side doing good
Right.
things.
But because a person
yes.
who is allegedly to have
Yes.
affiliation, because family member is cabinet minister,
Right.
and what did I say? Well, I ain't government, right? So I gonna make a phone call, and I call the big papi, the big wig, because you figure, well, that could get me off,
You know who is me?
right?
Oh, yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
But if it's not
Yeah.
that way for another individual, and as you put it,
Yes.
so is it only one law or one style of law for individuals? I remember, it brings back to history. Didn't Mr. Manning call a police station to get his driver out of a station? Oh.
Well, one guy told me once, he said, RHP. I said, what is that? He said, ranks has privilege.
Yeah, but ranks in what way?
I don't know. He told
You
me.
use a boat owner,
Uh-huh.
right? It's not like they say as a minister calling an ex-minister. You is a boat owner,
It might know somebody who knows somebody else.
right?
But gentlemen, my
Yes,
question
yes.
in all of this is, where do we go from here? And
Mm-hmm.
I was going back to all these examples to show that this scenario is not the first time.
Exactly.
And it may very well not be the last.
Right.
But would we just continue to raise these issues every time an infringement or an abuse of power occur? Would we just raise these issues and then after 7 days we go back to same old as to what has been happening over the years in relation to this
Well,
government?
what we have to go to Victor Roberts is the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago needs to step in,
Yeah.
speak on this matter, because cabinet ministers are being named by being called at a police station, and your government is being brought into disrepute.
But isn't there any way that the people of this country, in the absence of the Prime Minister acting, is there anywhere in law where the citizens of this country could go to the High Court in order to deal with these breaches
Well,
or these abuse?
well, judicial reviews can be looked at and things like that, but you have to bring a cause of action. All right. What I would do is that citizens have power. I know what's that power? Your voice. Speak out. Start to make noise. Start to rumble. Right? You have been doing it. Right? We have to get people to start speaking out, start coming publicly, and demand that ministers be removed. Boss, prior to 2015, man was walking up and down the street, dragging mannequin. Right?
Often do.
Right. You understand?
Yes.
That needs to happen. And that is where we are seeing a little bit starting back to start back. Because citizens are beginning to realize that a lot of their rights are going to be becoming infringed. One such right is the right of choice. As we are seeing with this whole, if I may talk about it a bit.
Well, I want to get that into the second phase.
Yeah.
The vaccination.
But sometimes
aspect,
when people
we wanna
stand
get
up,
that into the second phase of the show.
when people stand up, they end up lying down.
Of course. So I think it's about time we go to for the break,
Oh, yes, let's take a break.
take a
Oh,
break.
it's 7. Exactly 7.
and we'll get right back.
That's all right. Somebody?
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 97.5 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours,
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica. Island Hobbies, Ryson Road, Port of Spain, has the largest variety of toys in the Caribbean and South America. No one can beat our prices. If you see it cheaper anywhere else, prove it and we will beat it. We're open every day till late, Sunday to Sunday, even on Christmas Eve till 11 p.m. Island Hobbies, Ryson Road, Port of Spain. Even Santa buys toys from us.
Toys.
Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. Le Grand Coulon Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Blackrock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Blackrock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in.
Hi, this is Michael Rutlal, attorney at law. I'm inviting you to join me every Thursday at 5 p.m. on MCTV for the Social Contract. It's a new show where we will be discussing bills that are being debated in Parliament, topical legal issues and recent decisions of our courts, and where we'll be giving general legal advice on issues that affect you, the public. I encourage all of you to continue looking at MCTV, bringing you back to where you belong.
It's time to make your community better than before. Join yours truly, Kieran Joseph Samaru, on Your Community. We'll be discussing the important issues with the important people in the place most important to you, your community. Join us every Tuesday at 9 p.m. right here on MCTV as we know and make your community better than before.
Sport is in trouble. What can be done to save sports in TNT? Join host Gordon Pear on Sports Insight every Monday and Wednesday on MCTV from 4:30 p.m. as he identifies the problems, look for solutions, and points the way forward. Sports Insight, where we talk to the coaches, athletes, administrators, and of course, you, the fans, as we bring positive change through sport.
Coming soon on MCTV, the local Palooza show and countdown. Hosted by TNT's rock ambassador, Bees High Five, the Metal Merchant. See and hear all your favorite local rock bands. Keep it rock alive. Rhythms Communications Network, local Palooza show and countdown. Coming soon on MCTV, the local Palooza show and countdown.
U975 Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio and Multicultural Television, MCTV, bringing you back where you belong. Part of the Rhythms Communications Network. To advertise with us, call 218-7820.
We're back on the inside.
Welcome back, U97.5.
218-7762. Hello.
Hello, caller. You're inside.
Your music is my little amazing. Mr. Victor Roberts, a blessed night to you, sir.
Yes, sir. Good night.
Mr. Corky and to Brian B.
Yes, sir. That's the man. That's the man.
Hey, I've always wanted to hear this guy on radio, and I'm here. Because the one thing I like about this gentleman is when he just say, a blessed Lord.
Yeah. Go ahead, caller. Go ahead.
It's a pleasure to hear you, sir.
You see, Mr. Victor, when you just close the program, you say the same thing over and over and over.
Yeah.
I'll say two things, but the people of this country have a serious problem. And I'm going to bring it up. Those things what you're talking about, the whole, about 60 people on a yacht, and the administration, that is just to dive boat. That is something over and over. And the real story in this country is you see the Baptists and the Hindus in this country, and Dr. William Days, he wanted to get rid of these two way of life people. He didn't want them to use their religion. I don't like to use the word religion, right? And the Baptists, they wanted to finish them out, and the Hindus. And today, the Hindus can't bury their people who burn them in the open air. And Desmond Tutu did his funeral in open air. You see, this is the thing. People are stressed out, Mr. Victor Robert. And I sit down and I listen and I listen and I listen for somebody to bring up this. But nobody didn't bring it up. And Mr. Brian Briggs, I want to know what the people of Trinidad and Tobago could do about that. The Hindus, they say every creed and race must find an equal place, and the Hindu is left behind. When we come in 1845, educated from our land and bring down here, we are punishing for what? We build this country, we pay taxes in this country. We need your help, Mr. Victor Robert and Mr. Brian Biggs. Tell us what to do and speak on it too for us. Mr. Victor Robert, sir.
Yes, sir.
Help us. The people. That is something very, very stressful, you know, mister.
Yes, sir.
And you're mixing a body. You're sending it there. You're sending it all over the place. What? You're stressing all the people. You have COVID. You have all.
Give the people the dead and let them burn it. Have a blessed and wonderful night to one and all day.
Thank you, sir.
Well, I do know that matter was picked up by the Mahasabha, and if I'm not mistaken, the Mahasabha is dealing with that matter. So, sir, there are people fighting for that matter that you are talking about. So, don't worry yourself. Sure. So, while we deal with what's happening with our phone lines, what I will say is that Trinidad and Tobago Right. So Trinidad and Tobago, we have to understand that we have reached where we have a government that is totally out of control. We have a government led by a prime minister that is very much acting very dictatorial. And it is time. It's time to act. We saw it done on the 6th of December in Tobago. And I am telling the people of Trinidad and Tobago and Trinidad, people of Trinidad, it is time to say to Dr. Keith Rowley and his band of...
Because it's one to the next.
It is time to go. It is time to go.
But you see, the bottom line to it, Corky, is while we could come, I and Brian could sit down here whole night and tell everybody what they should do and how they should do it and all that, you know. The fact remains is that we could talk from now until thy kingdom come, except the people of this country decide to stand firmly to ensure accountability, transparency, equity, and all that goes with it in this country, is until Brian, myself, Anil, and others will keep talking, and it is until the government will continue mishandling, mismanaging, performing the high-handed way, continuing in the form of nepotism, bringing draconian measures. They'll do whatever they want to do because it seems as though the people in this country continue to sleep while the thief is outside.
Well, you see, it goes even further than that, right? You see, the Prime Minister, when he took his oath of office, the Prime Minister, the Attorney General, and every cabinet minister took an oath of office. And one part of that oath of office was to uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. And, Mr. Roberts, you asked me a question, I'm going to answer you. The fact that the Prime Minister is going in this month to make citizens by a mandate that they must take a vaccine. Now let me put it out here. I am very much in favor of taking the vaccines. Once it's by pro-choice, it is your choice to take it. You choose to take it or you don't choose to take it. That is your democratic and constitutional right. But you come now and you're doing that to public servants. Public servants, the same public servants during the battle of COVID that you praise them. I call them your frontline fighters. I want to praise you all. Now you're coming to tell those same frontline persons, well, listen, if you don't take the vaccine, you're not going to get paid. You don't take the vaccine, you can't come to work. So, Victor, you are a single parent, a single mother, 4 children. You have not taken the vaccine as yet because you're a little hesitant. Because you're not properly being educated by a government who only tell you to vaccinate to operate, but not educate to vaccinate. Right? And you come now, and you're telling that mother, who has again 4 children, and she's a single mother, she's a public servant, right, who making a salary that is very low. Because public servants, some of their salaries are not very high. And now you tell her she cannot come to work. You stay at home. And when the month come, no salary for you. Bills to pay. Rent to pay. Medical bills.
Yes.
School books. School clothes. Food to put on the table. And when you don't have that money, what you going to tell the children?
And all these people who died and say comorbidities, are these families getting any form of help?
No.
Like it are no mother, no father? What
You
trouble is this?
see, let me interject here. My next question to you is, where in the Constitution give Keith Rowley the power? Give him the power to place this on the citizens, where they either accept or they go hungry.
Well, I'll tell you this. I have not seen it. I would love somebody to show me it in the Constitution where the Prime Minister has all power to force this mandate on you. Because you can't do people that.
But there's someone like just now they go hold it on and inject you.
Because
you see, where are the law association? Where are the judiciary? The judiciary is also charged with a responsibility to interpret, to mitigate in relation to constitutional laws.
Nobody can talk right now.
Right. So my point I'm making is, where are these individuals in our society? How come everybody dumb?
You see again, Victor. Now, I will not comment on the Law Association as a member of the Law Association myself.
Yeah.
Neither judiciary as an officer of the court. But what I will say is that you had other people. We're fixing TNT. Where he disappeared. You can't hear he at all. Kurt Wait, I think is his name.
Kurt Wait. Mm-hmm.
He just disappeared. Where Kublal Singh? So all he know to do is defend highway. Right? Where is his rubber tire medal? Where is his rubber tire medal that he was hanging on people's gate? Where is that, man? Where he disappeared? Right?
Where the religious, where the IRO,
right?
Where the trade union movements,
Well,
where everybody,
the trade union movement is beginning to speak out, right? Now,
beginning to speak out when nobody don't want to listen.
Right. This is same union leaders who sat with Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. Right? Well, guess what? When you ride that tiger, hope you know what happened after.
But as on that, let me ask you a question right there one time. Are you a trade union leader?
Me?
Yeah.
A trade union leader?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
Was you involved in any official capacity as a union man representing the people?
Well, I was a member at a point in time of the trade union movement. But to say a trade union leader, no. I worked in local government for 10 years before I became a lawyer. And I was a member of the NUGFW. I was also, in fact, I was a shop steward. So I would have represented workers, spoke on behalf of workers, right? I was a part of a collecting bargaining body, right? Where sometimes we would talk about how much to negotiate for, right? At a short stint of time, which was good. But I know why you asked for that, you know. Because NATOC had their press conference. And their press conference...
That's all. Let's take this one. Welcome, caller. You inside.
Good night. It's Koki, Mr. Robert, and the rewarding lawyer.
The attorney, yeah. Mr. Brian, yeah.
Dr. Brian, Mr. Brian. Comrade.
Yes, sir.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Same to you.
They are not that long COVID center. They're making sure they kill people, and I saying it plain. No, hear what's going on. That the evidence, we have the evidence now, right? But now on the party boat side is where the health coordinator said 10 people in any public establishment. Where the bar association, who with the rum shop, Where else the dining on the avenue when that goes down? But you see, when we stand up against the government, they tell me we only have to be 10. But the nice thing about it, Trinidadians and Tobagonians are good people. But when we sell we so for $1, it's very bad. Because we're supposed to be mobilizing, right? But as far as we take an excusal to talk to the lawyer. So have a nice day.
Thank you, caller. Yes, brother. Go ahead. We are talking about.
Right. So, like I was saying, so Natok had put out that they
We'll
were
take our next one.
Sure.
Welcome, caller, inside.
Good evening to everybody. Good evening to everybody.
Afternoon, Miss Santa Cruz.
Mr. Roberts.
This is the famous Miss Santa Cruz,
Yeah,
man.
that is Santa Cruz, yeah.
And Mr. Corky and to everybody out there, and Happy New Year. First, I want to say we made it. We made it. Some people didn't, and I must offer my sympathies to their families. And those of us who made it, let us still practice social distancing and all the protocols, you understand? Because like this thing not going away. It's not going away. Brian, you said something. You belong to the Law Association, so you don't want to speak. Well, let me speak on it. All of them have PIP now. Because if it was Ann and Ram Logan, letters would have been flying left, right, and center. You understand? Anna would not get a breather. They would have gone down in the man history. But I don't know what it is with the Law Association and this government that everybody, the media, everybody afraid to talk out. But before I continue, I just want to let all you know, the volume is on the, we're not getting very good reception. It's very, very low. So, there's nobody, NGOs, Winard, Plot, everybody, they're quiet now about what it is going on in this country, right? Look at what it is happening with Forrest and them now. Now, that reminds me of when David West went to the Western Police Station with his brother-in-law. Up to now, nobody knows what came out of that case. Nobody knows if it even had a case and all. So is it going to be one set of rules for the PNM and one set for everybody else? I thought we fall under the same laws. Something is wrong in this country, and I want to tell some callers on them. All you only want to find out what Kamala doing and what Kamala doing and what Kamala doing. Can you do what Kamala is doing? Raising issues in Parliament and going to court on whatever the lady has to do. This does not only affect Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, it affects everybody. And if everybody do their part and stop waiting on Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, you understand? We will get them out. We will get them out. But no, we sit in mass, only calling the radio stations what Kamala doing and what Kamala not doing.
Miss Santa Cruz, just to clarify, you said the volume is low. Is the volume low on the live? Or
yeah,
is it on the live?
On the I am on social media.
Oh, so it's on the live, is it low?
Yeah, and it's very, very low.
All right.
Archie,
okay.
Step up the volume, Archie. Step up the volume, Archie.
All right.
Yeah, pump up the volume.
Yeah.
Yes, Brian, and I want to let them know, if all of us do our part, Victor is not waiting on nobody to drag his coffin. You understand? All of us doing our part, of course, all you have to be done on the opposition leader. So she's one person.
Well, let me just say this. The political leader and the leader of the opposition, the Honorable Kamala Prasad-Bissessar, has done her part. The leader has basically sent out her press release, basically jamming the Attorney General on certain issues concerning this debacle with this boat, this so-called boat. So the leader has done what she has to do. But I agree with Ms. Santa Cruz that you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, just as you all would clamor for every little simmy-dimmy between 2010 and 2015, I don't know, like, always get frightened when PNM in power.
I think so. They have mouth. And the thing is, PNM in power, they're destroying the country, but yet still all you only don't come up with Bissessar.
This is why I have to ask. This is why I will ask the question, Victor Roberts.
Thank you, ma'am.
This is why I will ask the question, Victor Roberts, again. Where is Fixin TNT? Where has he disappeared? Where is Kublal Singh with the rubber tire medal? And he went and hung on people's gates.
Let me take this one. Welcome, caller, inside.
Yes, the Silver Fox is here.
Tobago.
Yes, man.
How are thou?
Well, boy, I'm fighting and I keep fighting for my country.
Mm-hmm.
Let me say something. The people of Trinidad, the people in Trinidad, they are coward. They are coward. I don't know why they are. I don't know why they're afraid. Keith Christopher Rowley.
Silver Fox, hold up a minute. Silver Fox.
I hear you.
I want you to say that again. You say it too easy.
The people of Trinidad are cowards.
Very well.
The people of Trinidad is coward people. You cannot let one man called Keith Christopher Rowley. What you are afraid of him with?
This is what's his name? Silver Fox?
Yeah, like Tobago.
Right?
You know,
what are you afraid of
Mr.
Keith
Silver
Christopher
Fox.
Rowley about? Look, Tobago. All of us get together and said enough is enough. Right? And we decide to get rid of all of them in Tobago, and we did that. We did that brave. We came out in our numbers and get rid of Keith Rowley here.
So Silver Fox, let me ask you a question.
Yes, you go ahead.
You all the people of Tobago, you all saw the wanted wastage being done by the THA, PNM-led THA. You all saw where you all were treated less than bastard children. You all saw where you all were not even being properly represented. And what you all did? You all said time for Tracy to go back by she mother. And don't they say that? So it's time to tell Dr. Rowley here, we in 2022, it's a local election coming. We must say Sangre Grande, tell Keith, because he's a Begonian, eh? You must tell Keith, time to go back by your mother. You must say it in Arima, time to go back by your mother. You must say in to the Puna Piaco, time to go back by your mother, Keith.
But they don't want me to Tobago.
You must say it in Sour Laventille. You must say it in Port of Spain. You must say it in Diego Martin. You must say it coming down the road. You must say it in San Fernando City Corporation. Time for Keith and the people. Go back home by all your mother.
Go ahead, Silver Fox.
Yes, we have to get up. We have to close down the country. It's the only way to get this man out of power. This man will not leave just so. He has too much baggage. You have to get the people of Trinidad and Tobago. We have to close down Trinidad and Tobago. Rowley has to go at all costs. We cannot be going through this for longer. I hear some people coming and talking and saying, we can have them in the next 3 years. We got to wait till 5 years. They are PNM. They are protesting for Rowley to stay there. And I know they are not UNC. They are not sensible people. We want him out, and we want him out right now. Rowley is a pest. Rowley is a pest you need to spray. Rowley is no good for this country. Rowley is no good for Tobago. Rowley is no good for Trinidad.
Yeah.
All Rowley is good for is his own family and his friends. Just imagine, look how much of us, how many more must die? How many more must die before we stand up and we only standing up and look? What we gonna do, Victor Roberts, what we gonna do? We know what to do.
Yeah.
And only asking Victor what to do. What's wrong with all your body? What we gonna do? Close down the blessed country. That is what we gonna do.
Yes, sir.
We're not taking no vaccine. That is not a vaccine. That is a jab. They want to kill us out. All them who taking that dying out. How long we will stand aside and suffer? How long we gonna let one black man, a bald-head black man, suffer with? Run that crazy bald-head out of town.
Yes,
Thank
man.
you.
Yes, man. Thank you, Silver Fox.
Just to finish off on the point that you had asked me.
Yeah.
So yes, so NATOC had sent out their Zoom meeting. Yes. And I logged on to watch it. So I'm in the grocery watching that press release, that press conference, you know. Yes. So to come and ask me to say I was a union leader.
Yeah.
Well, let me say, many people was on that link because NATOC put out the press conference for people to see what they had to say.
Right.
So the nation could hear that NATOC is against mandatory vaccinations. And as a former member of NUGFW, I will stand with my Nuge brothers And if we have to go to court, I will go with them.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Well said.
To make this work, but you just take me for a joke. Nothing can please you, nothing can please you, nothing at all. So I said, go back by your mother if you want me over.
Yes, this one dedicated to Keith Rowley. Give me a verse. Give me a verse. Welcome, caller, inside.
Caller, just before you run, I know my wife is listening. Pleasant good night. I'll be home very soon.
Yes, caller, go ahead.
It depends on how far you live in. Do speed enough to go home.
Tell him that again, caller. Tell him that again.
Right, good night, folks.
Good night, sir.
Anil cousin, and who's the next boy, Cocky?
Yeah.
I listen to the program tonight. You all spot on. Somebody called a while ago to say that Trinidadians are cowards. And you know why? We do think. And here's why I call. I call and I make my contribution. We have enough intellectual stock in Trinidad and Tobago for us to make an impact on the world and what's going on in places like Africa, Asia, India. Right? The only person who is prominent from the region in making an impact on the world and where people is sitting up and listening is Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, and West Indies Prime Minister Mia Mottley. That's either summer. Barbados, Trinidad and Tobago, and West Indies Prime Minister. She like West Indies captain Mia Mottley. She speaks truth to power. She's straight to the truth, and she calls out a lot of the nonsense that's going on in. No, and she calls out a lot of nonsense that's going on in the world, and here's what's going on. We have to preserve our democracy, right? And there are people in every country, and Trinidad and Tobago is no exception. There are a percentage of people who don't want democracy.
Yeah.
They have the facade of democracy. You're wearing the mask of democracy, but true democracy, they don't want it. It was never the intention of the People's National Movement from 1956 to now to share power with anybody else. All right, and they must control the institutions, they must control thought, they must control culture, they must control way of life. Any idea of anything else is a curse, and that is how the people's minds in Trinidad and Tobago are cultured. That is how we are cultured. They make us believe, right, that corruption only started the other day. Corruption going on in Trinidad. Listen, the Mr. Robinson, when he was a junior minister of finance, wrote a paper on financial discipline that would have regulated the financial services industry as far back as the 1960s, right? Many people don't know that document became the basis of the Central Bank Act of Singapore, because that document was shared around the world. You could have gone into a library and pulled that document and read it. You think Eric Williams won that? All the bacchanal about Robinson feel he could have been Eric Williams and blah, 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 and he bright and this. A certain nonsense. A certain whole talk that we believe in the 60s. We have the intellectual stock to make an impact on the world as small as we are. And we are wasting it because of foolishness and stupidity. And guess what? Here's where we are. 2022 with nonsense taking place, right? Here's where we are. They believe the lies, they believe the misogyny, the demagogue people, and the results of that is today. 3rd of January 2022 with 2,900 plus deaths. This is where we are. People tell healthcare professionals saying, get your own oxygen and keep it home, you know. So when you go home or before you come to the hospital, make sure you have your oxygen in your system before you come to the hospital. How much money we received from the external agencies with regard to helping us in COVID? And we only have 60 ventilators. That making sense?
We're going up to 77.
Oh, they're going up to 77 ventilators.
Yeah, they got 12. Yeah, they got 12 here.
We couldn't easily board 300 ventilators.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
We can't get the antigen test free from the UK because the UK citizens getting it free over the counter.
Well, caller,
so people.
let me help you a little bit. In 2020, the Ministry of Health, $7.4 billion. Or analysts say billion.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Then in 2021, we went to 7.5 billion.
Right.
So it was a billion more to spend. So within that, right, within those billions of dollars that was being spent, what have you gotten to show for it, right, under the Ministry of Health? And part of that, and obviously, it was to fight COVID. And we have no problem with that you want to fight COVID. That's fine. But you basically went and you get these field hospitals. Yet you're hearing that there's still the health facilities are poor. But there's still your health sector, right?
Yeah.
And you should be putting things in place in that health sector to help the non-COVID patient, right?
Yeah.
So let's go even further. You have cancer patients. The oncology center, and I take this as a personal thing, and I'll tell you where. I am from the constituency of St. Joseph. The oncology center was started in the days of Patrick Manning.
Right.
At Monto.
Brian, just hold the caller money running. Let him just finish and then he'll come back.
Sorry.
Caller, go ahead and then Brian will take over. You go ahead and make it finish your point.
No, well, no. The thing about it is the well, he's continuing my point, and I will hang up now because I just want I don't know when would people wake up and realize that this is working. This not on fire burn all that foolishness.
Yeah.
It's not on. But continue your contribution and make sure you leave early to and make sure you tell your wife you're too far from home. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you, caller.
God bless you.
Yes, sir.
All you all take it easy and be safe.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So to continue the point, right?
Yes.
So if we're batting on some more points now, right? And Koki, the reason why I had to talk about is I am from St. Joseph.
Right.
The Minister of Health is the MP for St. Joseph. The oncology center was put in Mount Hope, which is in St. Joseph. First for cancer patients. So cancer patient that was shut down under DLC. Why? Because the hospitals have cancer wards and we have medication for them. Well, hear what genius. People still affected. People still dying from cancer. That oncology center, which I would say Patrick Manning is rolling in his grave today because it was brought by him, kept by the People's Partnership. Dr. Fuad Khan was putting things in place to keep the oncology center to keep going, right? You come now, shut it down. And why? Right. This is a shutdown government, you know, boss. Among other things, it's a shutdown government. Yes. Everything they do that is for anything else, for any kind of benefit, they shut it down. The Seafood Industry Development Company, I was the chairman of that board. As the PNM come into office after 2017, shut it down. And seafood farmers, tilapia farmers have no redress anymore. Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
When last you see people putting tilapia on the side of the highway?
Wait now, I see that a little while now.
Right. I know why? It's because of the initiative of Brian Nathaniel Big as chairman of the SIDC. Right? When we did that and we put that, we created, no we do? Well, instead of you hanging at the side of the highway and looking very bad and also selling illegally, we created farmers. We went and get NEDCO involved. Right. And we got NEDCO, we got the ADB involved. Right? Former Minister of Agriculture was involved in that. Right? And we were able to create this a young boy named Navin in Mayaro became a tilapia farmer.
Right.
He was able to buy a vehicle when we got NEDCO involved.
That's very good.
That gentleman called me just 2 years ago. And he tell me, boss, I under pressure. My farm failing. Right? So you have a shutdown government.
Someone told me they was carrying their child to the rehab. Did they shut down the rehab too as well?
Which one is that?
It's Dole Shady site.
I heard it shut down.
Yeah, they said they came back home and said the place shut down.
I ain't get no facts on it yet, but somebody also tell me that place is closed.
I'm not sure.
All right.
But to go even further, my friend, right?
Yes.
Is that?
I take this one.
Sure.
Caller inside.
Hello?
Hello.
Yes, you're live. Go ahead. Turn down your radio, please.
Turn down your radio.
Yeah.
Your radio.
Because
It was brought by
Turn on your radio, please.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah, we hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, what happened now? As a first-time caller.
Welcome to the program, douglAR Radio.
Yeah, what happened? There is people in the UNC bringing down, undermining the party. I just call, I just observe, they're bringing down the party instead of the every party, they're bringing down. And men who was past ministers, they're bringing down the party, and that's bad. And the second thing I want to tell you, poison don't spoil. You see this job, poison do not spoil. Thank you, sir. Have a blessed night.
Well, I would just say this. Kamala Prasad Bisesa has weathered all storms. And she has weathered all persons. So if persons want to come and try and do what they want, here we go. It's simple, you know. If the lady want to go back for and she goes back for elections, well, fight China. There are fellows who try it. I am pleased to say I have served 2 occasions on the national executive with her. And I tell them, if your name man or your name woman, stand up and fight she. Don't go in the background or in the shadow and try and do anything. Right? And I will stand up and fight with my leader. Well, I know a certain page will want to poke and think about me again. I don't care. I support my leader 100%.
Right, so the lines are open.
218-218-7762.
Any questions you have for Mr. Brian? Yes. He would be here until 8. That should be the next 20 minutes.
Yes,
so utilize your calls and find out what you need to find out or make a contribution.
Hello?
Hello, good night.
Yes, sir, good night. Welcome.
Welcome. Okay. It's 2 points I want to raise. There were a caller called earlier concerning the health system and freedom of speech, I will say. On the first one, in the health system, it is designed, in my opinion, it is designed for people to die because there's a lot of money making. Because when you watch the savings on the medical system, where they're not spending the money, and the retirees who dying, money is going back into the treasury. And with that funeral association where they want to build cold storage for bodies, there's a lot of money there too.
You know, caller, can I just tell you something? You see that last point you just raised, caller? You notice that they had to stop. That plan has been scrapped. And I must commend the people of Bokaro that came out, and I must commend as well Member of Parliament for Kuvasau, Rujunat Indar Singh, for standing up with the people of his area. That is representation. That is UNC style of representation.
Yes, but then you see, that's why they close out the crematorium, because money is kicked back there also on that issue when people died. You understand what I'm saying? Because when they keep a body for a long time, remember its cost going up.
Yeah, go ahead, we listening.
And then also, with the protest, right? You're not protesting. If you make a sign stating, well, look, hey, don't steal. This government hate competition. And you decide to walk your up junction. You're not protesting, sir. You're not protesting. You're voicing your opinion.
Right.
And you go to your junction. And you say, well, look, I will cross by the traffic light. So they cannot charge you for loitering.
Right.
You're not asking anybody to join. You're not protesting. You're not creating, you know. But the police decide to lock you up now. Then you have to go to court. Now, a lot of people don't protest in Trinidad. But say hypothetically it happened to me. And I have to go to court. Now I need a lawyer because that will take 5 years. They will keep putting off and putting off and putting off. Whereas they have to prove I am guilty of protesting, and I have shown the court I have just stated my opinion. So now if I want a lawyer, I cannot afford a lawyer. So I go to, like, say, let me say a counselor and say, hey, look, the representation in court, I can't afford it. Can the councillor get somebody to support me? Because a lot of people want to protest, but that is the problem they face. It is a matter of when they have to go to court. As though they are tied up in that court for years with that simple issue. You know, so it's something where, you know, because a lot of people complaining about that, but you see, the people, and that's the only way they could get up. Because they have to have support of lawyers to get them out of the system there. Because a lot of them would be able to afford it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand what the points are about. I might fully explain it for you to understand, but I get straight to the point.
I understand your call up.
Yes.
You know?
And we will talk further on that, which is a very important topic, caller.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your contribution.
218-7762. That's 218-7762. All right.
You see, the caller previously.
Welcome, caller, inside.
Yes, Mr. Roberts.
Yes, sir.
Good night. This is the 90 cent man. I have full. Right? I want to put all on notice. Faris Harari will soon be bringing to the parliament legislation against the media. Right? He will copy that from Poland. Poland had brought a document, and the prime minister, not the prime minister, but the president had rejected it. He sent it back, and he said they have to do more work on it. Now, with whatever time, all I have, all I make good use of it. Because right now it's hot in Faris Alvari to know that when you have a lawyer there, he would know what I'm talking about. When you make comments against the government, it does bother them to the extent, right? What is the name of that law, boy? What is the name of that law? Sedition. The sedition law hot in Faris Alvari right now. Because had the sedition law remained in existence, all of us would have been in darkness, right? So that is one of the reasons why he will now bring in before the court, not the court, the parliament, legislation based on silencing the media. So let's take full advantage of whatever opportunity you have. Now, as it relates to Tobago and what Tobago did, which I very much applaud, Tobago had an impending election, so they were successful in the stance that they take. As it relates to Trinidad, we don't have an election except for the local government election, which is based on, we know the regional corporation, etc. So that they go how much teeth, right? Now, Keith Rowley has it distinctively clear in his head that he have no intention of calling a general election. And we could march from the rising of the sun to the setting of the sun, right? We could march from the rising of the sun to the setting of the sun. We never see that coming from Keith Rowley at all, right? So what we actually have to do is the economy is the strong, that is the backbone, and what we have is close down the businesses. That is the only way they go feel it. Close down the businesses. The mass marching and things that are contemplating I heard it from Kamala Prasad Dibisasa for the very first time. She referred to the police as dogs of war. And that is what the government using. They're using the police to silence us, right? The only weapon that we have is to shut down the country, cripple the economy, and that's how we would be able to be a force upon the government. Or listen carefully to what it is I saying. So,
I call but he's saying cripple, and the country done cripple already.
All right, caller, I get your point, and I agree with you. We need to shut the country down. I 100% support that shutting down of the country because.
But you see, again, it comes back to my point.
Yes.
Right? Is that Victor could talk, I could talk. I agree with that.
Yes.
But you know, I have to say it again. Where all the people who had so much amount? Where them?
I don't know.
Where they gone? I had to say it again. Where Kurt wait? Yoo-hoo! Where are you?
Welcome, caller, inside.
Good night, Mr. Roberts, on your panel.
Yes, sir, good night.
I am finding it very difficult to follow this discourse of Attorney General and the boat thing. Hear me out slightly.
Yeah, go ahead.
With his abysmal record of am I to believe that he was providing somebody with legal advice? Is he even competent or qualified to advise anybody on matters of law? I can't seem to understand this. This is confusing to me. This gentleman has no track record. The one case he was involved with, the other attorney was Fitzgerald Hines. And that was in a case where a dog bites somebody. And Hines win the case. In a dog bite case, he lost against Hines. The best ever attorney general ever. You could imagine that? I don't know. I really confused. I telling you. Anyhow, I'm going to listen for all the off here to hear all that to tell me and explain this to me properly, you know. Thanks.
Thank you, caller.
But you see, again, it comes back to the questions that we were asking. Who called who? Who was giving advice to who? Take that one.
Hello, caller, go ahead, inside.
Hello.
Welcome, caller.
Hello. Good night.
Good night, caller.
Let me just load on this thing.
Take off the radio, yes. Right
Yes, I take it off. Good night. First time caller. Listen, I'm a public servant, and my respect for Wadmark went up. I'm not higher. Earlier when he spoke in such, the man spoke in election calling time, the kind of voice, the kind of words he used. I'm a public servant for over 30 years. I'm not been vaccinated. I have comorbidities. I want to know what is our next step. Because apparently, even though we're hearing all this nice dandy talk from everybody, including Anil Roberts and Kamala, we're hearing talk from everybody, but we want to know what is the next step forward.
Okay. Well, what I will tell you, ma'am, is that I'll answer after we take this business.
Hello. Welcome, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Brian.
Hey, who's this, boy?
This is Davey.
Hey, this is a very good friend of mine.
How you going, brother? I want to ask you something.
Sure.
I want to ask you something, right? How far is the legal firepower in the opposition willing to go if the government decides to, push forward on their threats to furlough?
Well, my friend, let me tell you something. The United National Congress has never shunned away from the courts. My political leader is a senior counsel. At the end of the day, we must remember that the UNC did go to court when there was the issue of the wrongful way of appointing a commissioner of police, and the court ruled it was unconstitutional. But I will leave it there, right? But what I will tell you, my good friend, is that the United National Congress, led by Kamala Prasad-Biswas, a senior counsel, member of parliament for Siparia, has always defended the rights of citizens. You must never forget when we were in opposition before, when they were coming to take away homes of persons who had certificate of comforts. And it was Kamala Prasad-Biswas who coined the phrase that the PNM was making it into certificates of discomfort. And I can tell you of a nice young law student in 2008, just got his degree in law, was able to help in that matter. Koki, you can think who that person was, by? It's yours truly.
It had to be big.
Okay, that was you.
Was very much helpful in that matter.
All right.
But we helped that. So,
right.
Davey, my good friend, and nice to hear from you. I will tell you this. Have no fear. The United National Congress and Kamala is here.
Right.
I hope you guys follow through on that promise.
We will see what can be done, my friend.
Okay, you all enjoy the night.
Thank you.
Take care, Davey.
And we want to come back to the lady.
Yeah.
The next.
See, we must understand now. The PSA is definitely going to get involved. I am sure of that. So the unions will have to get involved. She must understand as well that she has to get her union to
Yes.
speak on her behalf as well. Because this will become an industrial court matter.
Yes.
It will become an industrial issue.
218-7762.
Right? It will become an industrial relations issue.
Yes. Hello? Hello?
Welcome,
Hello,
caller.
good night.
Yes, you're live.
This is my first time caller.
Welcome, caller.
All right, my contribution is very simple, but is in a twofold. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
Right. So is this. Ms. Kamala, this person, this sister is distinguished. And if it is, it was she was the one who making those pronouncements that the sitting prime minister is making. You all know this country would have been on fire.
Yes, sir. Correct.
Yeah?
Correct.
So it just goes to show that people in this country really and truly that they don't want nothing. And that is very heart-wrecking. You understand? So I don't know what really are people in the country. Is it free the prime minister or what? I don't know. I really and truly don't know. But the second thing is this too. Right? I come along the highway right before the flyover by Maritime there. And I see like 20,000 policemen. I over exaggerating it. But the manpower, them using to sit down in the back of a vehicle, about 5 policemen in a vehicle with a speed gun, waiting for people to pass. Now in another country, you might see about 1 or 2 police officers. It's about 20 police officers over there just to catch people speeding. And it have all kind of notorious activities taking place in this country. And they move a man who was actually doing something as a commissioner and have somebody else here. Now, I had a big problem with that today, and I find something about that. They're using the manpower and the police for the wrong reasons. And I don't know who could really and truly push forward that and get that to change, but then again, it's a PNM country right now, so that's my contribution for that.
Well, Victor, let me say this, right? The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service have their work to do and allow the TTPS to do their job. Whether you see 10 police or let the police do their job. Because, as I always tell people, the law is there to follow. The law is there to be guided by. Because let me just say, there was no police on the road there. The first thing people say is, where the police? But I hear you, caller. I understand where you're coming from.
Yes.
But we must also, let us be fair to TTPS as well. They have a job to do, and let them do their job.
Welcome, caller.
Okay, the point, before the caller go, the point in question to show is that you had a police officer doing his job in Carnage police station that led to have to be asking questions. Who call who? Who say who that it's not a party boot, it's a restaurant boot, it doesn't infringe the law. So who said that?
Welcome, caller.
Yes, hi, good night. Good night to the... Yes, I have a question for the lawyer. The status of bodies, people who die in the hospitals from the COVID, who has responsibility for holding the bodies? And can the government, can the hospital hand over bodies to funeral homes without the families signing off?
Well,
that might, because then the funeral home now will tell the families that they have to pay for storage, but isn't this collecting body from the government and not the funeral home? I would appreciate your input. Thanks very much. Y'all have a good night.
Well, caller, it's a beautiful question you're asking. Question has been asked by many persons. I myself has asked those same questions because I have had family members who has passed away in the state hospitals outside of COVID before even COVID came about. And we had to sign documents before the body was released and things like that. So it's valid questions as to whether who is being given the rights to release the children and the bodies.
Welcome, caller. Radio caller. Load on your radio, please. Hello. Can't take that.
So, I mean...
Please, when you all call, low down the radio because it's causing a terrible feedback here with us.
Thank you. So, I mean, my time is coming down short with you all. What I will say again, on the original issue of why we were here,
yes,
is that there appears to be some form of apparent conflict of interest.
Yes.
Right? There appears to be that somebody tried to pervert the ways of justice. I am not casting any aspersions, but I will say this, that the question again must be asked, who went and make a phone call and who called for the officer to take the call and put it on speaker and talk to him? You know, yes, I just had to talk like this. I mean, I can speak the Queen's language as well. You know, but you had to talk like this sometimes, cocky.
Yes, yes.
Cause you know how Anil is do it. So you had to talk so and say, hey,
yes,
who the sergeant call?
Yeah.
Or who called the phone to talk to the sergeant? That's like, you remember a certain man say, hey, my lawyer on the phone. Talk to the lawyer. So, I mean, it is weird. Yeah. It is very strange. And this is what you call PNM governance style. But I will say to you, thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure. Feel free to call me again if you want. I also want to say a special condolences to a soldier of the United National Congress who passed away, to her family, Miss Natalie Small. She served with me on the SIDC board.
Okay.
A lady that, she was like a mother on the board. Yeah. You know, you have those ladies who will talk to you, it's like your mother talking to you.
Yes.
And I was so sad to hear her passing. Okay. I also want to give condolences to the family of Mr. Kenny J.
Yes.
Our cultural icon has passed.
Yes.
A gentleman that I got to know many years.
Yes.
And I understand that the mighty bomber passed away as well. So we have lost. And you know, there's always they say cocky.
Yes.
And when it comes to carnival time,
yes,
we tend to lose our real our real heroes and icons.
Yes.
And I would just like to say condolences to them. And I wish them all of God's blessings and to their family.
Yes.
And I wish you all, gentlemen, a Happy New Year again.
Yes.
Happy New Year to Trinidad and Tobago. Happy New Year to my UNC family.
Yes.
I make no bones about it. I am a member of the United National Congress. Yes. Well, if they want to come my way, he's a UNC lawyer. Well, I am a UNC lawyer. Right?
Yes.
I am a UNC and proud person. Great. And I will say it here again, that I continue and fully support the political leader of the United National Congress, the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bissessa. And I wait at Senior Council, and I wait, and we will return to office with Kamala Prasad Bissessa.
Yes.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. We want to tell you we want to say a special thanks for you.
Yes.
Coming in. Of course, I know that you have brought clarity to some of the listeners and in some regard, and of course, I know that you will be expecting a call from me in the very near future on this show and any other show that I might be conducting as time permits. So I want to say thank you for answering the call.
It is my pleasure always, my friend. I have always said that the United National Congress, we fight battles. We fight battles in the parliament. Our MPs are doing an excellent job in the parliament, both houses. I want to say that all our MPs, I want to say especially MP Rai Ragbir, has been doing an excellent job in Komoto Manzanilla. I have to do that. I have to say it. I have to do it. The man is doing an excellent job. All our MPs are doing excellent work. We are seeing them on the ground. You're seeing them everywhere. Our senators are doing excellent work. Right? We have had this government on the ropes. In many ways, we've had them. And we must continue it. And I'm sorry to say it like this, but if people of Trinidad and Tobago don't realize it, now is the time. Say it like that. Yeah. Now is the time. And if the gentleman who got the phone call doesn't be man enough to come out and say, well, yes, I went and advised.
Yes.
And if he does do that, by all means, it is time for the Prime Minister to remove the Attorney General of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you. So let's take a break.
Yes.
Time has come. New 97.5. Make it your choice. Something for everyone. 97.5 FM. Music for you. It's all about you.
New 97.5 FM, Hot Like Pepper, Multicultural Radio.
Power to the listeners. Welcome to Rhythms Communications Network.
We are Multicultural Television, MCTV. Total local programming, the latest news, all the sports, our culture. MCTV.
MCTV is broadcasting in HD on Flow 114, Digital 22, Amplia 119, Airlink 18, RVR 109, Mayaro Cable 103, ICNTG 120. MCTV bringing you back where you belong.
U975 FM, Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio.
All the music you know and love, played by the DJs who know how to mix it just right. We don't come slight, we come hot like pepper.
Informative and entertaining with the hottest DJs in the country. On the World Wide Web with fun radio, adult contemporary music, and
WBHM, the voice of rock. Rock, 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 rock.
Rhythms Communications Network, connecting cultures, connecting communities.
My parents' generation grew up with Royal Castle. From the first restaurant in 1968, when that distinctive, tempting aroma hit the air, they just couldn't resist. And like never before, fried chicken with a special blend of local seasonings and a one-of-a-kind flavor down to the bone. Today, Royal Castle still have that same delicious taste, and I love it too. The kids can't resist it either. Plus, they have more to enjoy. For me, the castle is more than just nice food. It's we own, part of me and you, and is the real flavor of TNT.
Come to the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. Great ambience, fantastic prices, all COVID protocols observed. Full premium bar available. Call Waves at 731-4646 to make your reservation. Come dine with the Waves Restaurant and Bar, Grafton Beach, Black Rock, Tobago. You must be vaccinated to dine in. Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica.
Opening hours.
Saturday 7:30 a.m. to 7:30 p.m.
Sundays 8 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. When you think about fresh produce and good quality food, come to Fresh Street Market, your neighborhood supermarket.
Number 3 Andrew Lane, corner Churchill Roosevelt Highway and Andrew Lane, Derby, Mousica. Island Hobbies, Ryson Road, Port of Spain, has the largest variety of toys in the Caribbean and South America. No one can beat our prices. If you see it cheaper anywhere else, prove it and we will beat it. We're open every day till late, Sunday to Sunday, even on Christmas Eve till 11 p.m. Island Hobbies, Ryson Road, Port of Spain. Even Santa buys toys from us.
Toys.
The Grand Coulant Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock. Bed and breakfast rates available. To book, call 283-2597 or 463-2946. The Grand Coulant Spa Resort at Stonehaven Bay, Blackrock.
Coming soon on MCTV, the local Palooza show and countdown. Hosted by TNT's rock ambassador, Bees Hi-Fi, the metal merchant. See and hear all your favorite local rock bands. Keep it rock alive. Rhythms Communications Network, local Palooza show and countdown. Coming soon on MCTV, the local Palooza show and countdown.
Sport is in trouble. What can be done to save sports in TNT? Join host Gordon Pear on Sports Insight every Monday and Wednesday on MCTV from 4:30 p.m. as he identifies the problems, look for solutions, and points the way forward. Sports Insight, where we talk to the coaches, athletes, administrators, and of course, you, the fans, as we bring positive change through sport.
douglAR Radio is now on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, Monday to Friday, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. with Anil Roberts, bringing you the facts on politics and up-to-date information. Also taking your calls on 218-7762. douglAR Radio on U97.5 FM Hot Like Pepper Multicultural Radio, 6:15 p.m. to 9 p.m. Monday to Friday.
Get ready for the revolution. Come on, what you say?
Sponsored by Royal Castle.
Welcome, caller, you inside.
Yes, good night again.
Yes,
I got cut off a little while ago, Mr. Brian, Mr. Robert. Yes, I belong to the PSA, and yes, I know PSA is dealing with the matter, and I know it will be going to industrial court. What I want to know, and it's on behalf of all the other public servants who are listening in, some of us who don't want to go for the third job, and some of us who have comorbidities like myself. We want to know when we put down tools and then we go and march, we behind all the events, we behind all the, we want to know when we call for general elections, how we move in.
Right, so no problem. So I will give you some answers on that. Let me just cut.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Right. You want to hang up instead of your money run?
Yeah, I appreciate that, yeah.
All right, so you go ahead and hang up and I will speak. Right, you're off there. Right, so what is happening, my sister, is this. When you look at Deborah Thomas Felix discourse in relation to this mandatory vaccination, she made it quite clear that it can be implemented where new agreements in terms of employment is concerned. However, as a result of existing agreements, Deborah Thomas Felix make it quite clear that an employer would not be able to implement that, save there must be some sort of negotiation between the bargaining body, which might represent you, and that is the course it will have to take. Outside of that, she made it quite clear that it is a matter that the court will rule on, and the court will rule, and I am saying this part, the court will have no choice but to rule in favor of you, the employee, based on the fact that the IRA makes provision for terms and contracts.
Victor, let me just come in here before I go. And I heard the young lady speaking, so I figured I would just hold on to hear her again. Is that the Communication Workers Union also won a matter at the Industrial Relations Court, dealing with the matter of mandatory vaccines. They did win a matter by getting an injunction.
That was Republic Bank issue, I think.
I think so.
I think, yeah.
I'm not certain. I can't remember right now, but I do know the communication workers did win it. And what I want to tell you is this: is that the leader of the opposition did speak out against such actions by calling it very draconian, calling it very dictator-like behavior, right? So, ma'am, when it's time to rumble with the United National Congress. And I'll leave you with that.
Right, thanks. Thanks, brother. So, sister, I am saying that I am talking from where I also sit. I am one of the individuals who also, thanks for coming, who also make it quite clear that the leader of the opposition state quite clearly that vaccination must be a matter of choice and it must not be forced upon the population. I am saying that there is action that will be taken if the Prime Minister and the Attorney General tries to follow through on their threat, and listen to the word I'm using, if they try to follow through on their threat, of course, we will take all necessary action by any legal means possible to ensure that the government does not, I repeat, trample upon the constitutional rights of the citizens of Trinidad and Tobago. So let's wait. They give a mandate by the 15th. Let's wait. I know for a fact some people in panic mood and they're running. Prime Minister say 15, 15, 15, 15. But the Prime Minister could say 15, 15,000 times. Nobody is going to force vaccination on this Trinidad and Tobago once the people of this country decide to stand against it. Welcome, caller inside.
Hello, good night, Comrade Robert and Corky.
Yes, sir.
Comrade Robert,
Yes, sir.
I would like to tell the public servants and all the workers out there, right, that the ILO is governed by a collective agreement binding in Parliament, right? And on the 15th of this month, right, everybody is to come out and gather to go and get the vaccine. But here we're going on now. The guys who want to do it. But let Rowley put what he wants, and all of them will be rich. Because you know why? He can't force all it and take out the matter in the industrial court, file it for breach of the all collective agreement that they're pushing something down on the throat, which was in the bargaining unit. And the industrial court is there to protect workers. And that is the only neutral court right now in this land. Right? And have no fear that it's time we come out on the 15th and listen to what we will be directed, how to move forward. We gather it under the PSA arm, whatever arm, whoever, but we gather it under the people's movement arm now. For we people power. Have a nice day.
Thank you, caller. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So we're not going to support the United National Congress, not going to support mandatory vaccination under no circumstance, none whatsoever. I think the leader make that quite clear. We are saying that while we are for vaccine, we are for vaccine by choice and not by force. Some individual want to take the vaccine, that's your right. Who don't want to take the vaccine, that's also your right. And I will tell you this, I am not vaccinated. I am one of the individuals who are not vaccinated. And nobody, I'm going to say it again, nobody, not even Rowley, could make Victor Roberts take a vaccine if he don't want to take it. That is my position. None of them cannot make me take any job if I don't want to take a job. That is my position. And I am going to stand with the people of this country who choose to take a job. I am standing with you. Those who choose not to take the job, I am also standing with you. I am one of the persons who advocate and said that the government must take responsibility if someone should take a job and as a result of taking that job they end up with any form of complications. I am saying the government must stand liability for that individual, and in the case where that individual job that person die, the government must mind their children until they reach the age of 18 years old. That is also my position. So the government just can't come and force something down people's throat, and we operate like sheep just waiting to be slaughtered because the government said this and the government say that. Who is Rowley? Rowley feel Trinidad and Tobago belongs to he? He feel this country is his own? He don't believe people have rights. There was rights before he and there'll be rights after he. But the people in this country so weak. According to Tobago, according to Silver Fox, the people in Trinidad are so weak and so coward that they doesn't even stand to defend their own home. They don't even stand to defend their own children. They don't even stand to defend their own wife. That's how weak these men is in this country. They don't stand up at all. In some cases, women standing up more than man, Cocky. Women defending it more than these men who calling themselves man, I telling you. You understand? What is wrong with people in this country? We seeing the government behaving and conducting themselves in all kind of flip-flop, breaking all kind of law, and yet we have nothing to say. Yet we will not take a stand sorry, and condemn these unlawful breaches of our constitution. We will not take a stand.
Yes.
Cocky, I went
Yes,
by
sir.
the president's house this week. New Year's Day. And let me tell you something. I saw some of them commenting on social media. You understand? What wrong with this man? And with this, you know, hot air. But the fact remains, you know, these same idiots and them will never come and condemn the president for the breach of the constitution that she allow some high-ranking government official to interface and interfere, mash up a whole police service commission.
Well, maybe they don't know about that, and they're kind of like illiterate to that, and they don't know on that. They only know about here. So people, you know, they're not educated as to what is really going on.
Well, then if you're not educated, shut your mouth on every issue.
All right.
Because what you're going to talk on one issue and you're not educated on it.
Yeah.
You understand? We have serious implications as a result of the behavior. Watch this whole fiasco where all these ministers and the children tie up in.
Yes.
Watch this whole fiasco.
You see, they just get accustomed to that thing going on for the long. From ever, boy, it just keep going on, and they accept that. They don't know, they keep you here.
And when you not accepting it, they have a problem with you. Because Victor Roberts not accepting what them accepting, they have a problem. Well, they will have a problem until Christ come. They will have a problem till Christ come.
Look your song here, boy.
Bring it.
Hello.
Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good night. Sorry to put.
Oh, go ahead. You go ahead, sir.
Remember when I told you that speech she read to the Tobago man?
Fali.
Right, Fali. She should have read it to herself.
Yes, I remember.
It is so shameful, you understand, to see a president, right, get caught in an action like that and still want to stand up and say this Mrs. Goody or Mr. Goody. It's ridiculous. You know, there are some things in the country, and it's the same thing you keep saying, the men don't stand up. Look down in the savannah that day. Imagine a man didn't know where Sinclair police station was, and he from deep south. You understand? Before they arrested his son. I have to give him direction how to find Sinclair police station. You understand? You know, it's so amazing that the distance people come from and the sacrifice people make for these things. And sometimes we find it so hard to come out of some of us. You know, look at the days with Daga. You understand? Look how people used to come out, and so people have to come out again. You understand? What are those pictures from 1970? You understand? Which are the marches? Look when they blocked the beach in Pigeon Point, and Daga went across there, right? And led the march in front of the police, and the man broke down the barrier. You understand? When the hotel they tried to privatize part of the beach. You understand? People have to get the spirit into them. You understand? And people have to come together. And when you see unity is force. Unity is strength. When you see you're in those marches, right, you just feel a different vibes, you know. You just be on a different level, you know. You understand? You just be on a different level. And this is what we have to appeal to the people, right? To unite. You understand? Unite. You have to break away this UNC and PNM thing. You understand? You have to be Trinidadians. You understand? Look at, for instance, you have to tell me the situation with Alwari children. They say the police shot himself, hide the gun, and went and sit down on a chair. You ever hear shit so? And everybody satisfied with that?
Yeah, everybody take that.
You hear one of the people bring it up. Nonsense. You understand? Alwari supposed to be, he is responsible for that murder. They killed the man because the man exposed the video. You understand? Good? That's ridiculous. Look at the situation with the two men who fell off the chair. Where all the big boys who involved in this bail racket? You hear anything about that yet? You understand? Two men fell off a chair and died. You understand? Good. It's ridiculous what goes on in this country. This can happen in no other country. You know? And as you say, it's not the men really lead the match. It's women that come out and feed these matches. You understand? The women are the burden bearers of the society. You understand? And they are so powerful in these other countries. What is happening to we Trinidadians? Look at the notes that we taken. This is the worst government probably in the world. You understand? The richest country. And we the shanty tongue of the flicking world. You understand? It's ridiculous. And everybody just going about the way normal. You're driving on the road so much a big hole, car pulling from big hole. And people with such attitude now. We have to get the people to come together and get away with these kind of things. But look for people just speeding on this road. The country so lawless. A man could do it. You introduce fireworks law. You held anybody was charged for it. You understand? Anybody was charged with that situation there. You understand? They need to ban fireworks. You know how much people lose chickens and ducks in the farm? Anybody studying that? When the chickens stampede and kill one another, and the same thing with the ducks and the animals, the bees and all get affected with that. The birds and them, some of them will just die with the shock noise and things.
Yes.
Ridiculous. You have to ban that because there's a 1% control in that. You understand? You hear what he said? Oh, his dog was affected by the fireworks, so he would have to look into legislation for that.
Yes,
just like how the stupidest health minister we ever had in the country. He was disappointed with Tobago. You understand? With the election. With the hell care about there's a damn not so good pharmacist, as they say. They say you wasn't so good in school. I don't know, but people who went to school, they said that we should never have you as a health minister. And that speak up the house. The election, we have to change a lot of things in this country, you know.
Yes,
we have to change and we have to stand up. Come out. You understand? People have to come out of the hole. You understand?
Yes. Thank you, caller.
Yeah, take care.
Yeah,
take
well
care.
said. Well said, caller. Well said. At least the dog was affected. The dog probably smarter than he. You see, the dog was affected by these fireworks. The Attorney General.
Okay.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen. So the fact we mean is people had to wake up in this country. People, we can't just continue same old. We cannot continue. We have seen what has happened under this regime. We have seen the destruction. We have seen the devastation of the Constitution. We have seen it all under this last 6 going on 7 years. And yet still people are so blinded. They are still saying that this government is one of the better government for the longest while.
I
when
find
some people sick.
5 years, every 5 years, you had to wait 5 years, and this feeling like it's the longest 5 years.
Sick. Give me that tune there and let me get back into that.
Let's get into that, yes, right. Let's get that tune line
Let
up
me get
here.
the president. This is for the president, Rowley Alwari Dial Singh.
Yeah.
This one is for all you. All you.
All right.
And all you who supporting the PNM. This is for all you too. Run it.
Fire.
Run it.
Tell me what they're fighting for. What they're killing for. We don't need no more now. So tell them wicked people. Fire go burn. Fire go burn. Oh Lord, I said this is the year for love. Fire go burn. Fire go burn. Oh, say little boy, you ain't mad at all. Another one just gone. But you beat your chest and smile. Say you's a madman. Another young boy fall. Your soul can rest at night. Oh, you's a bad man. Bad man is a man.
Welcome, caller inside.
Hello?
Yes, caller. Good night.
Yeah, because but good afternoon.
Good day, sir.
To your colleagues there, good afternoon too.
Yes,
so, I have an issue that I want to put in the public domain. Now, there's the voice of reporter. Good afternoon to Anil Roberts and the listeners of this different.
Yes, sir. Yes,
now,
sir.
The minister who in charge of WASA, there's a situation in this country that it seems like WASA is not aware of it. Let me tell you what happened in WASA and to the minister. When you have such a leaking means on the flat surface of this country, side places like up Lavancy, Sawaya, anywhere that have a height, and the water comes up to the main and comes in the people tank, unless they don't have a lock-off system, the water is going to run back off the hill and empty the people them tank and go through all those leaks that you have nationwide. That is a problem right now in the San Juan area. People tank fulling when the water comes, and they even get a chance to use all the water because the leaks in the road are pulling the water back down the hill because the pump is only push up water. When they take off the pump, the water is either free to stay in the system, but once the system is leaking badly,
siphon.
All the water will siphon out of the system. So I talk for the minister, the WASA, who in charge of WASA, let him deal with that. And I want to close by saying, Trinidad, we have an opportunity with a by-election, send a message unto the brother who spoke about Makanda Dada. That is a great leader from the 70s that was tarnished and destroyed by the PNM. They did that to black people's struggle. The National Joint Action Committee is the only black political party that could really represent African people. And what they did, they tarnished it. When they joined with the partnership, they cursed Dada all out. How the hell could Dada join with the PNM and they tarnish the man and destroy the man movement? He must join with somebody to get rid of the good afternoon.
Thank you, caller. Well. So he speaks of a serious problem in relation to the leaks and the siphoning of the water when the pumps are shut down. Everything come back down the hill full force. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say to you tonight as Trinbagonians that the 15th is coming. The 15th will be here very shortly.
What is happening on the 15th?
The 15th is the day that Rowley gave the country the time
to
get vaccinated.
Oh.
And let me take this one. Welcome, caller.
Yeah, Corky, tell the guy for the water not to run out. You have to put a non-returnable valve. The valve only could face inside that the water could run in, but it can't run back out from the yard.
Right, yes.
Right, that's the problem to solve that, a non-returnable valve. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that information. Thank you. Yeah. All right.
So that is the day that Keith Rowley decide that things will start happening a different way in this country. And I agree, ladies and gentlemen, I am agreeing that things must really happen a different way from the 15th going forward. From the 15th of January going forward, this country must let Keith Rowley and the government know that we would not be bullied. We will not allow them to brutalize us. We will not allow the government to breach our democratic right and do to us as they want for whatever financial benefits that they might receive based on the percentage of vaccinated people in this country. Welcome, caller. Go ahead.
Hello.
Welcome, caller.
Yeah, good night.
Good night.
You know what happened? You know what happened now?
I want to say to you tonight.
Hello?
Yes, you need to take off the radio, the volume on your radio.
Yeah. All right.
All right, go ahead. Yeah, okay.
I want to observe something with the boat, what they say, right? But the people, the second batch of people, what they hold, they're supposed to let them go because the first people only let them free. The second batch of people are going to charge them. That's unfair. What's going on with these people and them?
Well, it depends on who they hold.
You said.
You
said
thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
You say they cocky, that's it. That's it right there. All depends on who they hold.
Yeah.
But you see, Trinidad and Tobago will talk, but they will not rise up against that kind of discrimination. They will talk, but they will not rise up and stand up against discrimination.
Because United is stand divided we fall.
They will talk about the abuse of the government.
Right.
But how many of them will stand to defend, to ensure that the citizens, that we are not abused?
We've been divided for so long.
They will stand again, Corky, and call out and ask you what you're doing about it, while they sit comfortable in their homes. They will make comments
Yes.
about your stand and your fight.
People afraid to get locked up too, you know.
Brother, this is a stage in our country that you have to weigh between lockup and death. You have to weigh between dictatorship and freedom.
Right.
You have to weigh between the future and destruction. And once you put it on the scale, you will know you have one choice. And the choice that we have is to stand against this evil, wicked, corrupting, thieving, lying, abusive government that is running this country today.
But what do they hope to gain by this sort of wicked ways and stuff? What will they gain?
Brother, this government continue to benefit. Let me retract that statement.
Yes.
There is a fantastic 7 in this government. 7 individuals that could, I think that they are very well close to becoming more wealthy than what we call the 1%. Let me say it again. The fantastic 7 in this government, they may be very well close to pass the figures of the 1% in terms of finance. Go ahead, caller.
Hello, a very good evening to you, gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Robert.
Good day, sir.
One of my pet peeves too, there is so much of things that is happening in this country, but one of the things I am very disturbed about is, you remember the time when they tell everybody, the local balances, they jump you up everybody and tell you have to inspect your vehicle. If you didn't inspect your vehicle, you have to pay $5,000. And the reason for that is so your car have to be roadworthy. And the road is not worthy of our cars at all. So I decided I ain't inspecting no cars. Or go to Parliament and pass a law to seize my car.
Yes.
I tired of this nonsense.
The road is very bad.
Very, very bad.
Yes.
This, according to a caller, say this is becoming the shantytown of the Caribbean. All the best. Have a great evening.
Yes, thanks for
Thank you, caller. And Corky again. I am saying, who is standing in defense?
Nobody.
Who is standing in defense of this country? That is where the problem lies. Rowley and they know they could get away with murder, so to speak, in this country because the people will not stand up against them.
Because they have a lot of things in place and the people in place.
Brother, the people of this country is greater than the majority of persons who are in government that governs them.
But how do we get the people to come out who have been divided for so long? How long? Give me some years since these sort of things going on.
1956.
And now.
1956.
Yes.
We have faced. Welcome, caller. Go ahead.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. Yes, caller. Welcome.
Yeah. Am I on the air?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome.
Hello, you're on the air. Do you want to be on the air or off the air? Hello? No appearance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We have been from 1956.
Yeah.
Coming up the road. 1970, the people believe at that time they had enough.
Right.
And they took the necessary action.
And what happened? Give me a run coming down on.
Right.
Oh,
The people of the country believe that they had enough.
Right.
And things change from 1970. Welcome, caller.
Hello.
Yeah, good night, gentlemen.
Yes, caller.
Good evening.
Well, what I want to say in this country, we're having a lot of problems. We're having a problem with the virus pandemic. We're having a problem political. We're having a problem social. We're having a problem economic. We're having a greater problem which is constitutional.
Right.
And the people who run this country, the ruling class, okay? And the ruling class is composed of the opposition and the government. But what you're saying, Victor, you are quite right. But there's a question that the people of Trinidad and Tobago have to answer collectively. And the question is, what is to be done? Okay? I have a question. Let me tell you something. I've been fighting long before you fighting, brother. And some 16 years I've been locked up for murder, and I've been spending money for all my life. And when one case is finished, another case is coming up, and so it has been going. You listen? For the last 6 years, I had a case. I didn't do anything. I was in the courthouse in San Fernando. They take the case now, and they send the case to the DPP, but it's going to take another 4 or 5 years, and all I do is spending money to defend myself in this country. Right? At one time, I wanted to get myself into politics, but I cannot do that because I'm before the court.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And I feel sorry for my people of my country. It's not what's made. The question is in this country, what is to be done? And I hope that every Trinidadian, I don't worry about the people of Tobago, they are handling their affairs.
Yeah.
The people of Trinidad have to understand where we are at, where we came from. We are politically divided. We are racially divided, okay? And the government pursuing a policy, you know, I wonder how many people in this country read the autobiography of Adolf Hitler. There was a book that Hitler wrote called Mein Kampf. And there was a book that was written by a man called Sir Ivor Jennings. And I wrote those books. I read those books when I was about 15 years old in college. And what I understand from that is what Hitler wanted to have a white race. Williams planned the black race in the people using Hitler's book. You understand? And that is something difficult to eradicate in this Trinidad. Not in Tobago. In Trinidad, because you have a polarization of the people where you have half of the people basically is Indians and half of the people of African descent. And there's nothing wrong with it.
So then the problem here is race in Trinidad.
Obvious. It's political race. That's what it is. And to change that, I'm not saying, but wait, when any party go there, they will try the best. The one who try the best will only be there for 5 years. And they will bring the country, they will get the country running, and then back comes the other side, and we go back to the same old khaki pants. And we have seen that. I wish my people of my country, I'm very optimistic, I wish my people of my country, Trinidad and Tobago, especially Trinidadians, a very blessed New Year. I know many of them in this country are having problems in their religious life with the bearing of the family. It's a remarkable and it's a big problem. But I'm hoping that some way God will, you know, deal with it. You have to leave it in His hands, brother.
Yes.
So you always stay blessed and continue to work, Vic.
Thank you,
Thanks
caller.
for calling.
Thank you, caller.
Division.
Okay.
Yes. Talk to me.
I'm going to tell you something, brother. It is so sad in this Trinidad.
Yes.
That our people will allow this government to escape with the criminal type of behavior and conduct that we as people in this country will allow this government to escape while we encourage persecution against ourselves and our communities and those who will break laws. We'll have them go to prison and pay a price for infringing the law, but yet we have the government that breaking the supreme law and people comfortable in this country. Welcome,
escaping every time. Hello? Good evening.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Is there any human rights thing in this country again? We don't know. Apart from that, don't be surprised that the station diary at the station in Karanaj go missing. Don't be surprised that. And why these Hindu people get together and carry all the coffin in front of this man's residence in Dignity Prime Minister? I feel they should get together and people will support them. But like you say, we covered. We go do. That is life. Thank you.
All right,
Thank you, Kola. Well, Kola, I ain't feel they go support them now because I carry one coffin by the Alsing House and the President House and a whole cross section vex. And you know I carry the coffin from? Me and nobody by me dead from COVID yet, you know. I had nobody by me who in the hospital for COVID-19, you know. But I carry it to highlight the negligence and the incompetence as to why we have so much COVID-19 deaths in this country. And you, some of them same people complaining, Kola.
And you're standing up for the people.
Koki, some of them same people complaining, boy.
But how do you do it, Mr. Victor? How do you get the strength to do what you're doing?
The strength that I get is not from without. The strength comes from within.
Yes.
And it is much easier when you are doing something not expecting anything than when you are doing something with an expectation. Because when you doesn't get what you expect, when you're doing something for an expectation, you are disappointed, your zeal cut, your spirit done, and you're finished.
Right.
But when you are doing something that you believe in, expectation have no part in that.
Right.
And that is why I do what I do. And I mostly do it because of the children of this country.
Right.
You see, to the end of the day, going forward in the future of this country, the children must know that it had a guy who was standing up against our government.
Yeah.
Who was standing up against injustice.
A man who was shot on a
motorcade.
On a motorcade.
A man who have no fear for his life.
Yes.
You know, I will tell you this to help you a little further, Corky.
Yeah.
There's a certain scripture that said, no love have no man than a man who will lay down his life for his fellow brother men. You know what I'm saying to you, brother?
Yes.
So my fight, people will never understand it. Because my fight is not about me.
Yeah.
My fight is greater than me. My fight is much more than what people could see.
Teach them, Victor.
That is what I want people to understand.
Yes.
And that is why they cannot deter my fight. And as I said last night, people must understand that I am a citizen before I'm a member of a party.
Okay.
And I always said to even members of my party that with Victor Roberts, people come before party. And if Trinidad and Tobago will put people before party, they will never be supporting the PNM government under this terms and condition of Keith Christopher Rowley
Could you say,
and the rest of them.
if people put?
If people of this country put people before party,
right,
they will never, at this point in time, be supporting Keith Rowley and his government under these terms and conditions, because this government is a government that have infringed and have abused this country in every form and every fashion. And yet, to the end of the day, the people who suffer the most, which is the African people, they still will stand and support Keith Rowley rubbish and talk about all of us is African people. Keith Rowley is no African with all you. Always a different category of African. Always a underdog African people as far as this government is concerned. This government doesn't recognize you as a shareholder, as a stakeholder. They recognize you as a pawn. They recognize you as a tool to be used for an election, and after that election is over, that's the end of your goody good shoe.
But how did Tobago get through, and how did
Let me take this one out.
Hello.
Right, caller.
Good night, Mr. Roberts and Koki.
Good night, sir.
I want to send out an appeal to the acting commissioner of police to immediately place Sergeant Adams of the Coroners Police Station under protective custody.
Very well. I support you.
You saw what happened to the guy who was to give the evidence in the gun case where
Officer Samaru.
Rifles.
Officer Samaru is his name.
Yes, to protect themselves from the COVID vaccines. That's what the guns were for, to protect themselves from the COVID. So I want to call on the Commissioner of Police to immediately place Sergeant Adams of the Coroners Police Station in protective custody, 24-hour security, and accelerate this investigation so that his life could be spared. Thank you.
Thank you very much, caller. Thank you very much, caller. Well said, and I support your call.
Boy,
brother, people understand what is happening in this country. We are just being used as political tools. And let me tell you something. Koki, you see the condition of everything right now. Let's just start with the road.
Yes.
You know when the road going to get repaired? As soon as the election bell ring. As soon as the election bell ring.
After the car mash up,
they will pass, and machines will start to run, and holes will be patched, and watchy contractors who are going to be doing the job, and they're going to run through your community and fix this and fix that, and hamper will be forthcoming. And as you hear the election finish and the PNM remain in power, then we go right back to what is happening now. And you know what's sad about that, boy, brother? Yes, Koki, you just preach. Yes. It is something that is keep recycling over and over and over. Yeah. And these people keep falling for it over and over. You know, it have a song, I fed up at the same thing over and over.
Yes.
They will keep falling for this over and over. And it reach a stage in this country that the people of this country, they don't even care about that job. All them care now is about is a hamper and having something to eat for today, and they don't care what they have to do tomorrow. Welcome, caller, you're inside.
Yes, good night, sir. This is me again. What happened is this last caller, that call was so beautiful in her form. But if you go under protective custody, then same people might, I want to say what I want to say.
You might get Clint Organs. Remember the Clint Organs issue with old Shady?
Yeah. You think it easy? I was police, and I support Mr. Victor Roberts and Mr. Anil Roberts. Some time ago I had a problem with the radio self now. I can't do nothing. I have one foot on thing, And I support you all, Mr. Koki. Serious. I love you all.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks for calling. Wow.
Yeah, brother. That is what they do with us. And we going through the same thing over and over. Koki, I just peep inside some comments on CNC3 where they say I went by the president's house.
Yeah.
I said, let me just read some of these comments and have a laugh. And Corky, when I read some of the comments, I said, let me check some of these people out. And when I check some of these people out, Corky, I realize that these people is foundational slave masters.
What?
I realize that these people, some of them have a big emblem as a balize, as a profile, and all kinds of idiotism. And let me tell you something, them people rather dead.
Yeah.
Them people rather dead under that balize. And some of them so selfish because they have a house and they have something that all they really need to continue going is a little hamper. Boy, they will condemn the neighbor. They will lick up the neighbor, I'm telling you.
Yeah.
And this is what these people face in this country. These people face a type of cultism brainwash that, let me tell you something, Corky, it doesn't matter what this Keith Rowley government do to some of these African people. They rather get nailed to the cross with 7-inch nail to support Rowley than to support any other party.
So what did this make Tobago get change and Tobago?
I comment to that.
All
Welcome,
right.
Paula.
All right. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Robert.
Yes,
Me
sir.
again. Let me tell you something. When you look at certain situations, like how it was started in Williams' days, right? I know of some families, a particular one. Her mother is in her late 70s, got a government house, right? She is is almost 60. She got a house, government HEC house. Her daughter, who is almost 30, got another house. One who is now in cross 20 got another house. So 4 government houses in one family. And these how the PNM operate. They get the food cards, they get different things, you understand? But my children apply for house for a while now. They never select them. But they have a way of fixing things for the families. You understand?
Of course.
For the supporters. Just how what was caught some time ago with in a hamper situation and where the voice message was, but she supported UNC. Remember that?
I remember.
So you see, it goes back a long way, right? Do you think they will vote anything else besides PNM? You understand? Because you have grandchildren coming up in time, and next thing you know, it's same HEC house. You understand? So it's something that we have to try to break whenever the government need a serious type of change, you know. The speaker house, the president, all these type of things, it needs a kind of revolutionary change. That's what Daga used to always talk about. You understand? You can't just go in back into the system like that. You have to put your foot down, and it have to have a lot of changes. And partner, when you're talking, I want to use the word masses.
Yeah.
Right? Use the word masses, right? Because you are showing to be a straightforward leader. You understand? And you could probably help out Trinidad a lot, right? If people understand and get with the flow. You see, some people might wait for a Sunday when you do have macaroni pie and macaroni salad and baked chicken and baked pork and baked thing to eat on a Sunday. You see, when you do nothing, or maybe one thing alone, that's with some of them, then you might see some of them coming out. You understand? So, it's something we have to understand, right? And thank God for you and a few others. I see our next one going straight vaccination, from a crime show to a vaccination show, right? Thank God for the other one after him, because I don't know news again. I don't depend on only to hear certain things on the news. I don't turn on TV 6 after all again. You understand? And this is the stand we have to take. You understand? If it is, we have people, okay, let's say the UNC decides to follow to the 300 and something to support us. Don't buy no express. Right? Good? Why we can't do that? Why we can't take action? We not buy no KFC for the weekend or whatever. You understand? Why we can't take certain actions and get started, get the people being revolutionized? You understand? Making changes. Revolution is change.
Yes, yes.
Revolution is not just picking up the gun. Although I don't like the pointing guns in the right direction with us recent the bullet the other day. You understand? But you know, it really means changes. You understand? And people have to. You doing a good job. I mean, I'm going to tell you doing a good job. The man in the morning, he doing a good job too.
Yeah.
And you want after this fool who switchy program, right? He doing a good job too. And you all have to try to communicate with one another and thing, and get the ball rolling. You understand?
All right, Koala. All right, Koala. I'll have to stop you right here. Not because of my choice, but because we are out of time.
The time. I know that.
And I'll be back here. I'll be back here tomorrow. Same time. So I look forward to you and other contributions.
Yes.
So everybody have a good night.
Good night, yeah.